What is up, you wonderful people? Welcome back to the channel.
Okay, so I just wanted to quickly add, to the video. So I did upload this video 99 hours ago, as you guys can see. But for those who did watch, you'll notice that the highest quality is 720p at 60 frames per second. Now I did that just so that you guys can have something to watch. But I'll re-upload it. I'm gonna delete this one and then re-upload one with 2K, 60 frames per second, so it should have like 1080p also. Just for the quality, because I think when I watched it, I saw that the quality just wasn't there. Like when I'm talking about the environment and then properly realistic and stuff like that, it just doesn't show with 720p. But let me quickly respond to these comments because I think we're gonna lose the comments. With TK saying, running Wuthering Waves with a hot phone and the highest graphics is crazy. Like that phone is a beast. Lots of phones struggle to run Wuthering Waves in low graphics. I think you're the one that actually recommended this game. So this is a beast of a game. This is the beast of a game. Like in order to test your phone, if you want to put it to the ultimate test. So I definitely agree. But yeah, I can tell you like the phone was very very hot. So it's a very demanding game, and I'm also happy that it actually ran it very smoothly, very very well. And then we'll jump to Oddwell saying thanks for the update. Can't wait for Big Brother Xiaomi Note 13. It's going to dominate, in terms of heating up and longer gaming. But in terms of graphics, it might not get. So definitely. So I think the CPU. I think as you mentioned. I think here, yeah, as you mentioned, the CPU here on the Stylo Apex, it basically outperforms Snapdragon 685 and the G91 Ultra, like by far. So the only issue, like you mentioned, is just the overheating issue. So those phones will last you like in the long term. That's the thing. Those phones are good if you want to keep the phone for like more than 2 or 3 years, and then this one is good for like the short term, because this overheating eventually is going to catch up to you. And then Junior also says Stylo Apex is a beast in gaming. Even though Y71 can beat Stylo Apex, the problem is it heat up before 20 minutes. But I'm not going to let it go. Definitely do not let it go, man. I don't know if putting it on the floor is safe there. I don't know if that's safe, man, but whatever works for you. For me, what I do is I just remove the cover. But it's actually winter now, so it's not that it doesn't like get too hot. But when it does, just remove the charger. I also don't use it on the charger, and then put it on airplane. So I definitely keep it on airplane for a while, maybe 5 minutes, and then it's going to be cool. But I can tell you that this phone here is not going to last long. With how hot it becomes frequently. So if it's always getting hot, eventually it's going to cost you like 5 to 6 months down the line. Yeah, it's going to cost you. But yeah, let's jump back to the video.
So what we're going to be doing today is actually putting this beast of a phone to the test. Now what we're going to be testing today is going to be Blood Strike, Car Parking, CarX Street, Genshin Impact, Immortal, MadOut 2, Need for Speed No Limit, Truckers of Europe, World Truck Driving Simulator, and the game to end it all, Wuthering Waves. Let me just quickly check if we do have any comments before I jump in. Ordo is basically just saying can't wait for the gaming test, because he was basically asking which phone is better between the Apex and the Redmi. This video should answer that question. And then we also have David Wilson, who actually answered about the camera. Yeah, if you check here, it says camera resolution 12.58, but I'm assuming if you multiply it by 4, it should give you 50 megapixels. So it's running a Unisoc T760, not the T770. And it's also the GPU is the Mali G57. We don't have virtual RAM enabled, and also this one available RAM is going to be 2 gigs. And then the battery with 73%, temperatures at 33. Let's basically jump into the first game, and let's okay, perfect. Let's see if we can get like any resource. What? Good. Solid stuff. Let's get this guy's gun. How do I even take this gun? Okay, we have his stuff there, and then here's a box. I'll actually show you guys what graphics we're running on just before I die there. But as you can see, we're running everything on ultra, everything at the highest settings, and it's running very very smooth. No issues, no lag, no nothing. I just need to find an opponent. Okay, so I think we see an opponent here. Finally, dude. Yo, that was hectic. Like I've been running around like not seeing anyone for quite a long time. Someone else is shooting me this time. Okay. I can tell there's like a lot of aim assist here. There's a lot of aim assist, to be honest. You can definitely feel it. Okay. Okay, so I think you guys can see that the phone actually runs the game quite well. There's no issues, nothing to worry about. We're running at like the highest settings here. So I'd say for the most part, my experience has been very good. Solid. I'd say, yeah, for the most part, my experience has been very, very solid. Nothing to complain about. Basically, we're running at the highest settings, so this phone definitely does handle high settings quite well. So let's jump on to the next game. Okay, so we're in car parking multiplayer 2. So let's check the settings. Let's make sure our graphics are at the highest, and as you can see, we're running ultra on everything. This other stuff is just the details, but for everything else, you can see we're running at the highest there. Decals, shadows, and everything else is basically at the highest. Okay, so we're in, and basically we're running the highest settings, and for some reason I have problems getting used to like car racing games, but for some reason this bucket just keeps drifting and stuff, so I don't know why that is. Let me just put it in reverse there, but in terms of the environment, there's no way. Like, the environment is to die for. The graphics, just look at the trees. Yeah, no, bad. Yeah, I actually just suck at driving, bro. Let me just check the settings, because there's no way this is happening, man. Traffic density. Steering sensitivity is basically low, but okay, so I turned down the steering sensitivity to like the lowest. So I'm hoping that should help, man, because I had problems controlling this car. Like you can see, it basically overturns for some reason. But in terms of the environment, it's rendering it quite well. To be honest, there's no issues there. It's rendering quite well. We're running at like the highest. Yeah, man. We're running at like the highest of the high settings. I actually didn't even know I could leave the car, so I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I think we'll just have to run. We'll just have to run around, because I'm actually struggling to drive the car, to be honest. I have no idea why these controls are killing me, but yeah, I think you guys can see that it's rendering the environment quite well, with like 20 frames per second, and mind you, we're at the highest settings. As you can see, like, the clouds are very clear, the details are very clear there, the trees, the pole lines, the road. So it's not struggling at all, man. And when you compare it to the Xiaomi Redmi, I'd say this one is very smooth. It's a lot smoother. It's a lot smoother. So, albeit that the Xiaomi looks a lot cleaner, like it looks very clean, it looks a lot better. Like, to be honest, it doesn't feel this generic. It does not feel this generic. So yeah, I think in terms of appearance, the Xiaomi looks way better, but in terms of performance, this one definitely does take the cake there. But yeah, I think that should be it, guys. The game actually runs well on the highest settings. Let's jump on to the next game. Okay, perfect. I think we're in, guys. I think we're in. So let's just quickly jump on to the graphics settings, and as you can see, we have everything at the highest that we possibly can. Perfect. So we're at the highest settings, and as you can see, we're running at 14 frames per second, and obviously we got a slight frame drop there. So now this is the game that actually made me question whether the Redmi is actually a good phone or not. Like, this game was lagging at the higher settings. Like, yeah, you could actually tell that it's not even coping. So I think at the highest settings, even at medium, we're playing at like 7 to 9 frames per second, and here at the highest settings, we're basically that was insane. So here at the highest settings, we're playing at like 15 frames per second. So this phone is actually handling this game quite well. To be honest, it's handling it way. Damn. Yo. Yeah, so I think this phone is actually handling the gaming part of things way better than the Xiaomi did. Way better, to be honest. I mean, it might look blurry or whatnot. That's because it's playing at like a few frames. I think around 15 frames per second. But I think you guys can tell it's still very playable. Damn God. Okay. So yeah, I think the controls are way better than the game we're playing just now. I even forgot what the name was. car parking multiplayer. So this one, the controls are way better, but you can definitely tell that this phone is basically running it well, running high settings quite well. You know, it's rendering the environment well. I mean, it's not the best. I don't think you'd want to play for long at the highest settings, because yeah, you can basically tell that there's a bit of like you're missing frames. To be honest, you're missing frames. So let's see. If you play this game, where do you want to have the settings? Let's just see if Okay, so let's just see if turning off motion blur makes a big difference. And as you can see, frame-wise, it's not too much of a difference. It's not a very big difference. So we actually decreased in like frame rates, which is funny, because we did remove the blur effect. But let's see what else we can do. Okay, so what I did is I turned off anti-aliasing thing, and then now for me it's very smooth. Now it feels very smooth. Still play, yeah, now it's very smooth. So I think overall, if you look at it, like when you compare it against the Xiaomi Redmi, once again this phone comes out on top. Gaming wise, it comes out on top. The games that we want to see would be Wuthering Waves. Damn. Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact. So now this is one of the most demanding games I've ever played, to be honest. But yeah, it's running well on the Stylo Apex. So let's jump on to the next game. So now we're playing a game called Immortal. It has very, very high, high graphics, very demanding graphics. These are the settings. Let's take it to Ultra. So I think graphics-wise, we're at the highest. Let's see. Can you guys see how clean and how how detailed this game is, man? It's very, very solid, like the effects and everything. I think it does what we needed to do. Let me just close the door there. Yeah, I was just going for games that have like a lot of special effects and things like that. That was my aim. But yeah, I think you guys can see that it basically runs the game very, very well with no issues. The effects are very, very good. So let's jump on to the next game. Okay, so we're in a game called MadOut. But let's set everything to the highest there. Yep. In terms of like the graphics, I think it's running the graphics well. Maybe the character himself wasn't developed quite well. Even the running animation, you can basically tell that it's not the best. I have no idea what this is, man. Oh, this is the button. Okay, let's see how it behaves when we're driving. So I'm not sure if this is a South African game, but we're driving on the right side, so I don't think so. But we're struggling. And if you look top right there, we have the frame FPS, and currently we're running average. I think we're averaging around 22 frames per second, which again is not bad. So yeah, this game basically runs quite well. I mean, if you look at the sky, it's very detailed, like even from a distance, it's very detailed. Even the trees, the environment, the smoke effect, very, very distant. Let's see if we can drift. Yeah. So far, the phone hasn't choked like one bit. It hasn't choked one bit. So yeah, man, I think let's jump on to the next game. Yeah, so we're in Need for Speed No Limit, but as you can see with this one here, unfortunately we can't set the graphics, but you can see it's running well. I think the game auto does that for you. But if there's any other racing game that you guys know that's very graphically intense or graphically demanding, then let me know, because this one here seems to run well, not just on this phone, but on the Xiaomi Redmi as well. So this phone doesn't seem to struggle on any of the phones. So I think here it's basically a tie, as you can see. Let's jump on to the next game. Okay, so let's go hard in Trackers of Europe. Let's just check the settings. Now, if I remember correctly, the Redmi basically choked on the high settings. It basically choked. Couldn't even play. I think, it just lagged terribly. So let's hope on this game here that's not going to be the case. Let's drive the car, and basically we're running at like the highest of the highest settings, and you can see that just from the get-go that it's not lagging at all, just from the get-go. So here with the Xiaomi, I think we set it on ultra. Yeah, so I actually had to deal with two ads there, but that's fine. But like I mentioned with the Xiaomi, we couldn't even get it to, we couldn't even like let it run or drive for like more than 5 seconds, so it just wouldn't cope, choke. So we set it on ultra, and then we immediately had to set it to medium. That's how bad it was. But here we're running ultra. You can see the smoke. Let me actually show the smoke effects. You guys can see the smoke effects there. It's starting to, yeah, it's not lagging or anything, but with a few frame drops there. But yeah, I think for those who know the game, you can actually tell that, yeah, it's running very, very well. No issues there. The environment looks very, I think this one looks very realistic, to be honest, when you compare it to those other games that we played, especially the racing ones. The trees, the road, everything looks very, very realistic. Oh damn, this is tall. Wow. Oh, I actually have to pay. So this is an actual simulator, man. So this is very interesting. But yeah, I think you guys can see that there's no issues there. I think we played it for like close to 2 minutes now, and it's not struggled one bit. There's been, I think, maybe one or two frame drops, but nothing too concerning. So yeah, I think the game is playable at the highest settings, whereas on the Redmi, just couldn't even cope. Once again, on this game here, the Stylo Apex comes out on top. Let's jump on to the next game. Okay, so we're in World Truck Driving Simulator. So we're gonna set the graphics, everything to the highest. It's gonna warn us that the phone will overheat, but we don't care. That's what we're here for. Traffic, let's make traffic high, very high. Controls, we'll use arrows because I'm bad. Anti-aliasing, let's turn it on to the highest. The graphics are very sharpened. The environment is very, very detailed. I mean, it's not the best. It's not realistic, to be honest. It's not like that World Truck Driving Simulator game. It's far, far, far from it. Like, I always bum this thing. I have no idea why. Yeah, I think you can tell that the graphics are. So if you want something more realistic than that other one, the Truck Driving Simulator should. Truck Driving Simulator 3, I believe, should. Yeah, Truck Driving Simulator 3 is the way to go, because this one is not very realistic. I mean, the grass is like light green, so it doesn't even look realistic, but it's rendering well, to be honest, albeit I'm still struggling to drive this thing because it's turning, like it's hard to keep it straight. We've got a frame drop there. We have an airplane. No, I think for me the effects, the graphics and everything, it's not. Yes. I have no idea what's happening here. I mean, the game is running well on like high settings. There's no frame drops or anything, so it's not struggling. But in terms of like the looks and stuff, nah, this one here doesn't look. Yeah, the looks are not. They're not appealing, to be honest. This thing for some reason is just going zigzag, man. I have no idea if that's just me or I'm just a bad driver. I know myself when it comes to driving. When it comes to like driving games, yeah, I'm terrible. But yeah, I think let me know what you guys think about this game. It's not choking. So once again, it comes out on top when you compare it to the Redmi. So let's jump on to the next game. Okay, so we're in Genshin Impact, and before we do anything, let's just double check that we're playing at the highest of the high settings there. Graphics, so we set to custom. Let's set it to the highest. Just want to make sure everything's at high. Visual effects, we'll set it to high. Extreme detail, environment detail, set it to high. FPS, we're gonna set it to 60. We're running at the highest settings, guys, and you guys can see there's no, like, even with the bloom effect, when I'm like rotating the screen and stuff, you can feel that this one here is not having any like frame drops or anything. It's not struggling at all. It's not struggling like at all. Let me just fight this thing here. You can see that the phone is basically handling it very, very well. That's the interesting part. Whereas with that one, with the Redmi, you could actually feel, when you did this, you could feel like the bloom effect, it would be slightly slower, but with this one, it's running quite well. So there's no issue there, there's no lag, no nothing. So I think, even the environment, it's rendering it quite well, it's reacting quite well. So I think with this, let's try to, I mean, you guys can also tell like the effects and everything. The effects are very, very good. Very solid, very, very solid. Like, there's nothing to complain about here. But again, I can tell you that the phone is actually warm now, and I'm on 4G, so I can imagine how it would be if I were on like 5G. So yeah, I don't think I was gonna be able to cope like at all. Yeah, I don't think I was gonna be able to cope, to be honest. Let's get this thing. Okay, and then I'm not sure what I need to do, to be honest. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys like the environments. This game's running well. And now with this game here, I think for those who didn't watch the other video, so the Xiaomi basically ran the game at high settings, but when you did this, you could feel that you could basically feel that okay, it's running well, but yeah, you could actually see that it's not coping like that well. But I think yeah, on both phones they are. Let me just leave here. So I think the game is it's playable on both phones on the highest settings, to be honest. But I think in terms of like just that smoothness, the overall smoothness, this one here does take the cake. Genshin Impact is playable on both phones, but it's much better on this phone here. Let's jump on to the final game, the beast to test them all, the game to conclude it, Wuthering Waves. Okay, so we're in, guys. We're in. How do I change the graphics again? Let me just see if it's here. But these are the graphics. Nah, we'll say cancel. We want to set it ourselves, so we want to set it to ultra performance resolution. Obviously, we're going to set it to high frame rate. Obviously, we want to choke the system. We want to set it to that. Special effects, I want to set it to high. Shadow quality, ultra high. I don't even know what this LOD bias thing is, but yeah, I'll set it to high. Bloom definitely on. Crowd density definitely high. Auto FPS is off because it's going to cap the FPS. Damage numbers, I don't know what that is. Physics based animations are going to be on. Cutscene mode, letterbox. Oh yeah, that's what we have. This game on the Xiaomi Redmi was lagging, but basically due to storage. So I actually ran out of storage. That was the issue there. Yo, nah, that was one long cutscene, dude. Like, that's the one thing I hate about these games, man. Like, it was like dialogue where I have to select, like a response and things like that. Too close to like 5 minutes, man. But you can see it's running the effects like quite well. So Wuthering Waves is also playable, man. So on the Xiaomi Redmi, like I mentioned, it would work. But as soon as I started using Xiaomi's built-in screen recorder, then it would lag. So on the Xiaomi, I think it was playable for me on medium settings, not at the highest. Whereas with this one here, I placed the game at the highest, but I can tell you without a doubt that the phone is hot. The phone is definitely hot now, to be honest. I'll actually check the temperature when we finished here, but you can see it's rendering the environment very well. It's not struggling with anything. No frame drops. I mean, albeit my ping is very high, 225. I'm not sure if it would have been like lower on 5G, but I don't think so. Maybe it would have been like 215 or something. But yeah, that's fine. But the phone now is hot, to be honest. Like even the screen, normally would just be the back that's hot, but now even the screen is hot. On the top side, close to the selfie camera, that part is hot. So I'm not even sure. I think overall for me, yeah, I think they both have their pros and cons. I'd say the Xiaomi is good. Like it has a very good balance of like camera, like performance, and it's a good all-arounder, if I can put it that way. It does everything well, and then this one does gaming well, but in terms of like the battery lasting and things like that, nah. Let me just jump out. I think you guys saw there. So which one is going to be good for you? I can tell you for sure that if you're looking for gaming, like performance wise, if you're looking for like a gaming phone, if you use your phone for heavy stuff like gaming, then the Stylo Apex should do the trick. So I think we started at like 70 something battery health, and now we're at like 46. So again, if you're looking for anything else, if you're not so much of a gamer, you want a decent camera, overall better UI experience, then you'd want to go with the Xiaomi because it has Hyper OS, it has like custom animation. As with this one, it's just standard. Let me just see if I have any other comments. That's gonna be from from Jody. Also, this guy actually mentioned that he wants to get the 14C, Xiaomi Redmi 14C. Like I mentioned, that one is also like it's a budget phone, so you can't expect to play games at like medium or high settings. So you just strictly have to be low settings. But again, Jody, if you're looking for a phone with a good battery, then the Xiaomi A5 that just dropped now has 5200 milliamps of battery. So that battery should be able to last you. So I think with that said, guys, let me know what you guys think. So if you haven't watched the other gaming video, you can go watch it and just compare the two. So overall gaming experience, this one is like way better. The 5G definitely comes in handy. Like if you guys remember the game called CarX Street, it also struggled to run smoothly on the Huawei Nova 12i. but here on a 1699 rand phone, it is running smoothly. So if you look, yeah, like I mentioned, if you're looking for a value for money, specs to performance, the Stylo Apex, you don't get anything better than this. Like, don't sleep on this phone, guys. A 5G chip makes a lot of difference. I mean, albeit the software experience and everything else will be bad, and also the mic is not the best. So you guys will hear that the sound quality is not the greatest. Especially with the headsets on. So with that said, cheers and bye for now.